If you could sum your career up in one word, what would that be?
A bit, mental.
Any particular reason why mental?
Yeah, I think for me, because of my age, a lot of things are happening quite not fast, but in my head, it's ridiculous for me the amount of places I go and where I train and stuff like that. So I think that's why mental probably sums it up for me.
Absolutely, stuff like that, mate. We're going to be talking all about that, your career in wrestling, absolutely everything in between. We've got fan questions and stuff like that. Let's roll the intro and have some fun. Boom. Evan, we're obviously only on Wednesday, mate. How's the week been for yourself?
Good so far. Kept myself busy, so good.
Anything exciting, or is it just usual stuff?
Just usual stuff. I've just come back from. I came back from a holiday in France, in Paris, last week. So it's just getting everything back on track after being away for a week.
And do you do anything exciting in France, or all sightseeing?
Mostly sightseeing. My mum's in an orchestra concert that was playing in Paris, so we were down to watch her.
That sounds really fascinating. I'm just going to say that.
Definitely, my mum's a character.
Yeah, absolutely, and stuff like that. If you send us a link, we'll put it in the description so we can obviously get fans to go check it out for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So, mate, we're obviously talking about your career in wrestling, man, stuff like that. Let's start at the beginning, man. How does your story begin?
So, do you want how I started wrestling myself, or how I got into wrestling?
Let's start obviously from a fan, and then obviously transition into obviously becoming a wrestler.
So me and my older brother, I'll never get sick of telling this story, but me and my older brother used to watch wrestling before school, when we was very little. I can't remember when, but I think it was around like 2011 time. And then I kind of stopped watching it. And then in like 2017, he then was mates with some people that got him back into wrestling. And so I started watching it again with him. And then as he slowly stopped watching, I just carried on. And then from that, I used to play rugby, but I was quite a small winger. So I got injured quite a bit. And so I spoke to my dad and I was like, I don't think rugby is the best thing for me. I enjoyed it, but with the amount of times I was getting hurt, I didn't think it was the best thing. And so I went, so I don't think rugby is the best for me. Do you think we could try look at wrestling? And he was like, yeah, okay, sure, we'll have a look. And then so he looked around for me and he found UKW for training, which was really good for me to start off. And then it's just gone from there. It's built up and up.
Yeah, and UKW is obviously great. Talk about obviously some of the talent there, because there's some incredible talent.
Yeah, so when I started, these are people that I will always mention for anything. This is my first interview, but I will always mention them. So starting up with me was Seb Mercer. Great guy, I think. Don't like him that much. Hamza Masoa, Mo Akhtar, and Joe Cedric. We all started training. I think Joe was training a bit before, but me, Mercer, Hamza, and Mo all like started training at the same sort of time. And so I've been up through training with them lot. Drew Ashlin she's a name I always mention. She's so good. Who else from UKW? Just trying to think. I think they're the names that come off straight at the top of my head. Oh, Chris Castle as well. He's a great name that UKW have trained up. And yeah, I think that's about it.
And a little fun fact for yourself, by the way, Sebs obviously was the very first person I ever interviewed on this show.
Was he? That's great.
So he's incredible guy and stuff like that. So for people obviously listening who's obviously not familiar with UKW, give them a little insight about obviously the training sessions and stuff.
So UKW, they do. I don't train there anymore, but I think they do Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday training sessions. Every session's 2 hours. After the Monday session, they film Monday Night Ignite. And then Saturday sessions, if there's a pay-per-view leading to it, then people are kind of at the facility for the full day, basically. And the training session's good. It varies. The trainer will basically see how many people are there for the session and base it off that. But yeah, it was a great point for me to start off wrestling at.
Awesome. And where are you training now?
So I'm mainly at PPW. I'm at PPW every week. And then alternating weeks, I train at Rampage in Chester Street, which is up near Newcastle, once every 2 weeks. And Evo Academy down at Grimsby once every 2 weeks as well. So I'm all about.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. So we'll stick obviously with PPW and stuff like that. There's a big name there. Obviously gets a lot of love. Is obviously Liam Slater. What obviously have you learned from him?
So much. Liam. I think me going to train at PPW has helped me just as a wrestler so much. Liam is great. He's helped me get a grasp of ring positioning and bringing my character up throughout, so my character's another level, and just everything, even the tiniest little things that you wouldn't normally think about. Liam pinpoints and is yeah, if you do this can be a bit better, and if you do this can be a bit better. So yeah, Liam's helped me so much.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the big one that everyone mentions, obviously, Rampage. I mean, this guy's probably one of the best in the UK. What obviously you learned from Rampage?
Rampage, it's a bit like Liam. So I've been going to Rampage, I think about a year now, on and off throughout the months. I've learned loads from Rampage. Just like I said with Liam, little things that you wouldn't usually think of, he will point out, and it's as soon as he mentions it, you're oh yeah, well that makes so much sense. If you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely it does. So we'll obviously throw some fan questions to kind of links into what we're talking about. The Yorkshireman 90 says, "What's your favourite match you've done to date?"
So I've got a couple. I recently, this past Friday, had a match with Seb Mercer. That was quite fun. It was our first singles match in the 3 years we've been training together. So that was good fun. Any match with Joe Cedric, they're always just good fun. But my favourite match has to be it's me versus Sketch UKW Wrestlebration Aftermath. It was such a good moment. So I lost, but Sketch winning and beating me and whatever is just, and the crowd's reaction to that was insane. And so I think just off that alone probably would just be the moment. And then ones where I've won, I think when me and Sketch won the tag belts, UKW Tag Team Championships, I think that was just good fun to win with my Sketch.
We'll always talk about Super Pro Wrestling as well. Obviously, it's my home of town, Barnsley and stuff like that. A really good showing in that.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's fun promotion. I don't like any of the kids though. They get these like inflatable lightsaber things, and they just hit me with it, like unbelievable.
But the biggest thing, obviously, I liked about that is the crowd reaction. You, as a character, get some incredible crowd reaction. You've got to be proud of that yourself.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm quite proud of it. So I don't even I think it comes naturally. I don't realize I do it that often until someone like yourself tells me that I do good, that the crowd react to me well. So when people tell me, I'm a bit like, oh, thank you, but I don't really realize it in the moment.
No, I think a lot of people say once you're in obviously that zone, you kind of just focus on obviously your task in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
So you spoke about obviously Drew and stuff like that. Now she did obviously send a 2-part question, so we'll obviously knock this out of the park. First part was, who inspired you to become a wrestler?
I don't really know. I've always been a big fan of like AJ Styles, Finn Balor. But I wouldn't necessarily say they inspired me to become a wrestler. It's just I kind of wanted to try it, and then I got into it and stuff like that. Dolph Ziggler as well. And what I don't know his name in TNA now, but Dolph Ziggler, he's always been great, and like Shinsuke Nakamura.
I love the fact you said AJ because I do get that vibe, obviously, with your in-ring style.
Yes, AJ. I'm a big AJ Styles fan. No matter what he's doing, even if it's rubbish, I will be an AJ Styles fan.
Absolutely. And this next one, I'm curious to obviously know about this one. The second part was, how has your character evolved over time?
Oh, it's a really good question. I think I've become more of the character. Definitely in my home life and in my outside of wrestling life, I'm a bit more my character. But in ring sense, I know a bit more about my character on why I do certain stuff, and it's definitely become more arrogant. God.
I'm basically saying, mate, you're like a natural heel.
Yes, definitely. I get it a lot when I train, that a lot of people ask me and they go, "Oh, why aren't you usually a good guy?" And I go, "Oh, well, I don't know. I've just not been put like that." And then they see me as a bad guy and they go, "Oh, that's why you've not been put as a good guy."
Oh dear, yeah. Have you ever actually been a good guy, or has it always been a heel?
Yeah. So for Gauntlet Wrestling, it's in my hometown, and so I'm a good guy there. I faced Jack Maxwell in Howden, and then on Saturday I faced Jake Silver, the Pop Punk Kid, in Brayton. So yeah, but they're like my only times.
No, like I said, stick to heel, mate. Like I said, you got the character down to a T. Simon Gabe obviously is a regular listener to this show, and he said, "What's your go-to cheat meal?"
So I don't really have a cheat meal. I don't go to the gym. Well, no, I've started going to the gym, but I'm not at the point of like dieting and getting my nutrition sorted out yet. So a lot of food is my cheat meal.
No wrong. Well, at least you're honest, mate. I admire the honesty. So this next question I ask a lot of people stumps them, and I don't know why, but it's kind of like a way to promote yourself. So for people obviously who's not familiar with yourself, why should fans go check you out?
Well, I think for my age, people should check me out because I'm quick. I can do lots of stuff in the ring. As you've said, my character, lots of people tend to latch on and be like, I just want to see him get hit in the face. Like, I think that's a selling point because a lot of people, well, I think personally when I watch wrestling, a lot of the bad guys are like really good, where people are like, oh, they're really cool. I'll boo them because I think I need to. Whereas I feel as though with me, people just boo me because they do just want to see me get battered. I think that's probably that's probably the main selling point for it, which isn't great for me, but if it gets people watching, yeah.
Do you see if you actually had many injuries?
No, I'm quite lucky, to be fair. For the 3 years I've done it, I think the most I've done is at the beginning of this year, I did something and I've hyperextended my knee, which took me out for like a week. I think I've had a concussion before from this match against Sketch. I smacked my head really bad on something, but I'm not certain. But I think they're probably the worst too.
Interesting. A lot of people said like no broken bones. Is that what you're saying?
No. I did. To be fair, I did break my arm when I was younger wrestling on a trampoline.
It wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. So if that counts as a wrestling injury, then yeah, I've broken a bone. But in my 3 years of doing shows and training and stuff, I haven't had that bad an injury.
Okay, good. So before obviously you go out and perform and stuff like that, how do you get yourself into what I call the zone?
I listen to music. It doesn't really change from what I usually do because a lot of the time I just have my headphones in, got music playing. I tend to listen to like, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's like rap. Like it's an artist called Joey Valence, artists called Joey Valence and Bray. I tend to listen to a lot of their music, just blasting through my headphones whilst I'm stretching off or getting ready or something like that. And that just sets me in it.
Interesting. I've never actually heard that one. I might have to have a listen because I'm obviously a big rock fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so how do you wind down after a match?
I don't. I kind of just breathe and then fall asleep. When I get home, I'm almost immediately in bed. Not. I like to see my friends and family. I speak to them quite a lot after matches. I tend to watch when I can, and it's available. I tend to watch my match back as soon as I can to see not to see if it was as good as I thought it was, but to just see how certain stuff looks. And I think that's practically it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of wrestlers obviously I speak to say like their own worst critics in a way. Is that fair?
Yes, definitely. If someone that's a wrestler says that they don't criticize themselves after watching a match or having a match, then I think they're probably lying, because a lot of people I know will look back on a match and be like, oh, that was rubbish. And it wasn't. It was a great match. And they'll be like, oh, it was rubbish, or oh, the crowd weren't into it. And it's like, they were. Just watch it back, you'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just thinking now. I mean, obviously, you've been at PPW, you've been at UKW, you've been at Rampage school. There's some incredible schools, in the UK. Do you know what I mean? For people obviously to learn. You've obviously witnessed 3 of them. What's that like for you? Because you've got so many great people obviously to learn from.
What's it like for me learning from the different people?
Yeah.
Oh, it's great, because everyone has their own specific things that they are great at. So you get to then pick their brains about specific things. So at UKW, say the trainers will be great at high flying stuff. So there you've got that you can pick their brains at. At PPW, Liam's great with all the technical bits. And there you've got all that. And then at Rampage, it's all the little bits or like powerhouse stuff or how to make moves just look the tiniest bit better, but just makes it look overall massive. I think it's great just being able to pick from all of the different brains that I train under.
Now, one person obviously has praised you pretty well is Rich Swift. You know what I mean? Incredible guy. I mean, what's it like, obviously, like with Rich?
Oh, Rich is great. I will say this. When I first met Rich, I was under the impression that he didn't like me. And that was off one interaction in the ring because he was reffing a title match I was in, and I hadn't unbuttoned the belt for him to like raise it up. And so he like looked at me, I think, and he unbuttoned it. And there was probably no malice on his face at all. There wasn't probably any expression. But in my head, I went, oh God, I've really annoyed Rich Swift. and then I started training at Rampage more and just started speaking to him more. And Rich is so good. He also brings a unique perspective on how to improve stuff based on what the refs will see as well. So Rich is another person I will always praise, and I'm so thankful for any of the help that he's given me.
Now, I've got the comment in front of me. What do you think he said about you?
I'm really unsure. I couldn't be able to tell.
We'll keep it short and simple, then we'll obviously finish off with his question later on. And it says, Evan is a very talented individual with stacks of potential.
That just means a lot. Like, I'm so grateful I'll keep saying it. I'm so grateful for anyone that praises me and helps me, because it means the world to me.
Absolutely. Like I said, stuff like that. So, we obviously wrestling and stuff like that. Do you get the chance to watch it from like a fan's point of view?
Yes. So I went to All In weekend last year with one of my mates, and he's also a wrestler. And we were watching Rev Pro. It was Luke Jacobs versus Michael Oku and the Copper Box, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to my friend, and we both agreed on it before the match. We're like, I think it's hard to watch a match from a fan's perspective after you've learned lots of the like stuff. And so we were like, yeah, it's really hard to watch a match from a fan's perspective. And then we watched that match. We watched Oku versus Jacobs, and we were on the edge of our seat. We like almost completely forgot everything we knew. And we were like, oh my God, this is the greatest match ever. And we were watching it from a fan's perspective. So I think depends on the match, but it isn't that hard to watch it from a fan's perspective when the match is like incredible.
Absolutely. Are you going to be watching some of the Mania this weekend?
Pardon, sorry?
Are you going to be watching some of the Mania this weekend?
Yes. I'll be watching WrestleMania. I'll be trying to watch the Progress show that's in Las Vegas live as well. So definitely, I like watching the wrestling live. Definitely.
Yeah, it's always best and stuff like that. So, what's the biggest thing? Obviously, you've learned obviously in wrestling. Could be in the ring, could be outside the ring.
That people are selfish. It sounds bad, but people are selfish. I'm selfish when it comes to wrestling. Everyone is. But a way to be a great wrestler is to be selfish whilst also being selfless and not caring about how you look. Because I don't mind going out there and looking like a pillock. I don't mind. Like UKW recently had a Rumble match, and I was third in with JPR and Mustafa Khan as the first two. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to get battered. And I knew that was my job. I knew that was my role for it. And I went out there and I think I did it the best I could. Whereas some other people may be like, no, well, I need to do this or I need to do that. The crowd need to know who I am. It's like, you can do that later and stuff like that. So it's just bits about some people, really.
Interesting. So, like you said, man, you've done obviously training from 3 different things. For people who's obviously thinking about getting into wrestling and stuff like that, making that first step, what would you say to them?
Do it. There's nothing stopping you. If you try it and you don't like it, then that's fine. You don't have to carry on. If you try it and you love it, like I did, then you've got something that you can just keep doing and you'll endlessly love it. Like, I've been training 3 years now and I still love wrestling, I think, as much as I did when I first started. So I think, yeah, if people are thinking about training, find a school or wherever. If it's accessible to you, just try and go out and do it. It'd be great.
They always said that you're less than an hour away from any training school.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Yeah, of course it is, absolutely, man. Stuff like that. So what's the goal obviously for you now, man? Do you know what I mean? You've done so much, and this is obviously what Rich asked. What's the goal for you for the rest of the year?
Well, for the rest of the year, I think I want to try and get on some more shows, some bigger shows. So BWR that are linked with Evo. I'm hoping to try and get on one of them shows. That'd be so good if I did. Wrestling in Newcastle, that's another type of show that I want to try and get on. True Grit, obviously, and North. They're just some shows that I think would be so cool to get on. I think that's really it for this year for my goals. Obviously, like, main goal is, for me, it's like Rev Pro or Progress regularly. I think that would be so cool. And then WWE, obviously. Who doesn't want to go to WWE? I think it'd be so great.
So it's interesting you said wrestling in Newcastle, because obviously I do talk to obviously the promoter and stuff like that. So I might mention your name a little bit. Just saying.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I think those shows are definitely want to try and get onto.
Absolutely. What about opponent-wise? Is there any people you'd obviously like to work with?
Yes. So Adam Bolt, he is one person that I really want to have a match against. So he's helped me as well get out there to helping out at shows and stuff like that. So I will be forever grateful for him. Just encouraging me to try and get out and taking me to certain shows. Liam Slater, just really want to have a match with my coach. Someone from PPW called Callum Andrews.
Yes, he does Super Pro Wrestling as well.
Yes. Callum, I really want to have a match with him. There's a couple more people like Miles Kamen, I think, Jet Marshall, some others, Ian Skinner as well. I think would love to have a match with him. Hardman Dan, quite a few PPW names in there, but just some good people that I really want to have matches against that I think would be really cool.
And it's crazy you mention all them names because they're all so young and they're all still, learning just like yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
That's absolutely crazy. I'd love to see that one against Miles Kamen and obviously Ian Skinner. I feel that'd be an interesting one between you two.
Yes, definitely. Oh, and obviously the one for British wrestling, Leon Slater as well. I think that'd be so cool to have a match with him.
That would be really, really good and stuff like that. So we obviously, you sent me some promotional stuff like that. So I'll show you the image and you obviously get to promote it and stuff like that. So this is the first one you sent me.
Oh yeah, so UKW Day of Reckoning, as it says on the poster, it's the 26th of April. It's me versus, well, I think it's me versus JPR. They haven't announced the match yet, but I've been calling him out for the match for like 2 weeks now, and for his dream ticket, because we were the Iron Men in the Great British Bash, and he cheap shotted me to eliminate me, so I want to try and get that.
Okay, and the next one, of course, was this one.
So this is Gauntlet Wrestling in Howden. As it says on the poster, the 24th of May. I don't know who I've got yet. I hope it's Jack Maxwell, because at their most recent one, he choked me out with a tie, which is a ridiculous sentence to say, but yeah, I beat Pop Punk Kid and he attacked me from behind. Outrageous stuff. So I want him in a match, basically.
There's also Jay, I think, is it Vertigo there on that poster as well? He's another phenomenal talent.
Yes, Jay's great. That's another name. There's just so many people that you could probably mention that I've not mentioned that I'd just be like, I want a match with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, Jay's been on the show, incredible person, stuff like that. So what we'll do is, obviously, for yourself, mate, is we'll put the links into obviously these two shows in the description, so fans can obviously jump from this, go check them out and stuff like that, because like I said, two incredible shows, you know what I mean? And some incredible talent, and yeah, you and Jack Maxwell really intrigued me, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, he's I beat him at the first Howden show, and I assume he's not taken that too well.
Who knows? Evan, it's been an absolute blast, my man. Hopefully you've enjoyed yourself today.
Yes, I have, really have. Thank you.
Not a problem. So one final thing I need from obviously yourself is everyone I interview gets to do the outro, so they can say anything they want, and I will hit the outro. Take it away.
This has been is it Magic of Wrestling podcast?
The Magic of Wrestling.
The undeniable attraction, Evan Knite. Of course you want to come and see me wrestle. Of course you want to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And that is Evan Knite _PW. So go give that a follow. And that has been the podcast.